What's going on, guys? I'm Tyzilla83. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out this video talking about Mass Effect, the trilogy possibly getting remastered. Yep, can't wait to dive into this. But first, if you would, at the end of the video, like, comment, share the content that you're watching here, copy and paste it onto social media somewhere, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, however, that'd be great. And of course, if you haven't already, tap the subscribe button down below. Sounds like a lot, but I promise it's not. It's just a couple simple clicks is all. Mass Effect, if you don't know what it is, you've been living under a rock. The original Mass Effect trilogy is one of the greatest trilogies of all time in all of gaming, of all of anything. Well, at least according to me. Well, and according to most people. Most people in the gaming media would probably agree too that it's at least up there as one of the best and one of the greats. Whether that, whatever the reason may be, whether it's the voice acting, the stellar RPG elements in the first game, the just the gameplay in all three, the DLC, all that content. Of course, the story was, in my opinion, may be one of the best stories in gaming, period, in terms of a trilogy, in the end result and everything. Of course, we know that it was also one of the first games to introduce this idea of making decisions and those decisions having long-term ramifications, although, at the end of 3 doesn't really matter. But for all things aside, this is considered one of the greatest games or one of the greatest trilogies ever, no matter who you talk to. And there's a pretty big following of this, and we know that remasters have become a really big deal, going back to The Last of Us, God of War 3, and of course the PS2 games being ported to the PS4. BioShock, the trilogy, is being remastered. That's huge, although I've never played any of the BioShocks. I know, bad time. How dare you? I know. I definitely need to pick those up. So EA, though, if you've really listened to their ideology behind remastering, they're not real big fans of it. Although I find that interesting because, we get the copy and paste Madden games every single year that are basically just scaled up versions of the previous year, and they're against remastering a game. Isn't that just basically what you do every year with Madden and some of your other titles? Listen to what Executive Vice President of EA Studios, Mr. One and only Mr. Soderlund. Soderlund was having a conversation with GI. He was being quizzed by GI on the topic of remasters, specifically Mass Effect, and the executive had this to say: "What's changed is that there is proof in the market that people want it." Yeah, maybe more than there was when we spoke. There were some that did it before, but I think there's even more clear evidence that this is something that people really want. Again, no kidding. The honest answer is that we are absolutely actively looking at it. I can't announce anything today, but you can expect us most likely to follow our fellow partners in Activision and other companies that have done this successfully. Sutherland, yes, or Soderlund. I may be butchering his last name. Soderlund, yes, make this happen, sir. This would be a dream come true of mine. A lot of you who followed me for a while know that I'm a big Mass Effect fan. Now, I have something I have to admit. I never finished Mass Effect 1 because at the time when I was trying to play it, it was only available on the Xbox 360. I didn't own an Xbox 360, so my good buddy Brian had to let me borrow his Xbox for a little while he was off playing on his PS3 at the time. So we basically just kind of, he let me play his Xbox and play Mass Effect 1. I just could not, I hated the controller. I'm sorry, I know a lot of you love the Xbox 360 controller. It's compatible with most PC games and everything. I get that. I just could not. I'm a longtime Sony guy, and I love the PlayStation controller. So it ended up basically just sitting, the Xbox anyway, sitting and collecting dust. Meanwhile, I would go back to Mass Effect 2 and beat it I don't know. I think I actually beat the game about 6 different times. One of my all-time favorite games is Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 3 is easily in my top 15, top 20 favorite games of all time. I do need to go back and play Mass Effect 1. And this is why I'm equally excited about this game. I hope that this happens, or at least the trilogy. I say the game. Now, the question is going to be, how do they do it? Because we have seen other studios, take, for example, Santa Monica Studios, that only remastered one game. They remastered God of War 3. Could this happen? Could they? Now, I doubt they only do one, because all three of these games were mega popular, and they all three build off of one another, you know, with the decision-making process and that whole algorithm that they use within that game, that formula. So I think they will give us all three. Is it going to be in one package? Is it going to be maybe they launch Mass Effect 1 year, and then Mass Effect 2, like, you know, later in that same year, 3 in another year? How do we get it? This is EA, and this is kind of, I guess it's kind of new to them. So who knows how we get it and when we get it. And that's another thing. When are we going to get it? Because it sounds like, according to Soderlund, it doesn't sound like they're even in the process yet. So this sounds to me like something we may not even see until either late 2017 or possibly the next year. Who knows? But I am really excited, and I hope this happens really, really soon. Again, this is one of my 4 all-time favorite, you know, franchises, the Mass Effect franchise. I'm also a big fan of the Diablo franchise. There's rumors around Diablo 1 and 2 getting remastered, so we'll have to wait and see on that as well. And of course, I'm a big Fallout guy. I would absolutely love to see Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas remastered for the PS4, or, you know, the next generation of consoles that are coming up really soon. So let me know what you guys think down below. Are you excited about Mass Effect, or, you know, how do you think they're going to go about it? Do you think we get all 3, which is kind of where I'm leaning? I think we get all 3 at once. But what do you think? And remember, this is BioWare, and this is EA also. So who knows how their decision-making process goes with this. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for checking this video out. You know I love you. And try like hell to be kind to one another. Until the next video, peace.